10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations to capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, can you, both flash in front. You're gonna leave tonight.
And help our families being tormented as we once were.
Kids alone too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof.
Hi, I'm Todd. Welcome to Wickedly Haunted on New Bedford Guide. The lovely Marissa will be with me in just a minute. Tonight's case is a local case, very local, about a mile down the road from our house. We were called in to help out a local family that was dealing with some extreme paranormal activity inside the home, comparable to what Marissa and I experienced during our first haunting. Poltergeist type activity. Poltergeist means noisy ghosts, objects moving, banging on the walls, hearing voices within the house, all sorts of different types of activity. And this was a paranormal mystery of epic proportions because Marissa and I had a lot to figure out. The client, Kerry, is an amateur ghost hunter, so she had gone on public ghost hunts to the Lizzie Borden house, to Fort Tabor back in the day. And following her ghost hunt at the Lizzie Borden house, she thought she had brought home a hitchhiker, which is a ghost that attaches to you and follows you home. Sometimes that is because they feel a connection to you and they want to draw on your energy and maybe try to reach out to you for help. Sometimes it's because it's a negative demonic type entity that wants to torture you and ruin your life. In the end, we don't really know. The other thing is like Marissa and I, when we moved into our current house that you're looking at right now, which we had cleansed and we had the spirit moved on and whatever negative entity here removed by a Catholic priest that we work with. Carrie also got intrigued by what she thought was an apparition that followed her home, and they had experienced some minor paranormal activity in the house beforehand. So using some of the Spirit Box apps that are available on Google Play or Android, whatever Android's thing is, Apple Store, she reached out to the spirit world and opened a door that was never closed. So did something follow her home from Lizzie Borden's? Did it not? Either way, she opened up the door to the spirit world, and sometimes that allows in a lot of different things, especially if something was on the land or in the house to begin with, which is what they thought. The house is fairly new. It was built in the 1950s, but somebody could have died yesterday and be haunting the house. That really doesn't mean anything. As far as they know, though, nobody had ever died within this property. So what I'm going to do is play a quick interview that we did with her. The interview was done after the investigation. We were a little short on time today, the investigation. So at the end, you're going to hear us giving her some tips on how to keep the house safe after. We had just done a cleansing within a home, which you're going to see part of that as well, because some really freaky, scary stuff happened during the cleansing that Marissa was able to capture in the basement while I was upstairs performing the ceremony. But that's for later on. We'll get to some other stuff in a minute, but right now I'm going to play a video so Marissa can get out here and you can get a full idea of what actually happened that got us called into this case. So we will see you in a few minutes.
We're here with Kerry, who has called us in. She needs a little bit of assistance, is having some strange stuff go on in the house. How long have you lived in this home?
My mother bought it like 20 years ago, so I've... my mother bought it like 20 years ago, so I've been here about 10 years with her.
Okay. What's the activity going on for?
When she first bought the house, we had a couple things happen, like she thought she felt something cool getting in bed with her one night. My son's ball came like rolling across the floor one time. Lights flickering, stuff like that, but we just kind of ignored it.
Kind of benign.
Yeah, like we didn't really feed into it or anything. The after coming back from the Lizzie Borden house is when it.
Okay.
like,
So
started
we
to-
know that you've done. How long have you done the ghost hunting for?
First time I ever did one was like 10 years ago. We
Okay.
went to the Plymouth Ghost Walk, the cemetery, and we did get an EVP, which was crazy. I didn't expect it. I did bring my daughter, my older son. Then after that, I think we did. We didn't do much. We did like the Milliken tunnels. Down
How'd
the
you
south
get in
end.
there?
Just the fences ripped open.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's Fort Tabor.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
kept the ammunition.
So it's supposedly haunted. I think the Lizzie Borden might have been like the third time. I don't recall doing any
when
other.
did you go to Lizzie Borden?
Probably about 2 months ago now.
Okay, and when did you first notice that something had changed?
Like the next couple of days, I started feeling like kind of tired and off. Just my moods were like weird behaviors. My old behaviors kind of manifesting.
Mhm.
Didn't feel myself. I started telling my mother she thought I was crazy. And then I just started checking my room for negative energy, made that video, and then played the video back, and that's when I heard that
Yeah.
voice, and I was like, what was that?
Is that the voice that we just played for you?
It
think that
sounds
sounds
nasty. It don't sound like nice. You can't understand what it's saying, but it's like kind of like, you know. And then after that, that's when I started like leaving my phone in there to record, and I basically said, "Who's here? What do you want? You can speak into my phone to let me know."
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it went. In the meantime, we were trying to find like an app to go to the Conjuring house.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to see which ones were legit and not. And we were just letting them play on the table. And
Now, what app were you using?
they were all different ones.
That's the main app you use. I'm just curious to see what you're gonna say.
I can't even remember. My daughter always used
From your phones. If you ever go send again, they said you weren't gonna, but if you do, please do not use that app.
Yeah.
I saw where they went to a case and the guy had an attachment. It started. I saw where this guy was trying to contact his dead brother because he died on bad terms, and he got a demonic entity attached to it, a real one. Over and over and over again. If you watch, you will see videos about it, and
Yeah.
they get attachments.
Everywhere we went, Todd, and that's all it ever said, Todd,
But it'd
Todd,
say
Todd.
Todd Sylvia, it would say Todd
Yeah,
James
it would say
Sylvia,
my name every once in a while, but it was always saying Todd. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, every word, every other sentence that we said, Todd, Todd, Todd.
We've helped people for years. They hate us because we go at them. And once one knows you, they all know you. It's like www.demonicentities.com. They all know each other.
Yeah.
It's like
they
the
call-
Facebook
they
for
call it
them.
Legion.
Legion.
yeah.
We're Legion. They all know each other.
And that has also come up many
So they
times. the word
hate
Legion.
us, and they especially hate me because I do the provoking.
my daughter's grandmother. Yeah, she practiced black magic. She told my daughter she had a voodoo doll of me.
What?
Yeah, she's not a nice woman. So like I
Oh, that's
think
right,
about
that's
her
right.
too when I think about this stuff. Like I know people can do that stuff and
Yeah.
astral project and
It's real.
I,
It's all real.
You know, I never knew that they could do that, but I was like trying to learn more about it. You know, to understand like
It's all real.
to
It's
think
crazy.
that just one ghost
Yeah,
hunting
no.
did this, or just even just playing my phone. And like I said, I made like 4 videos in there. I had my camcorder in there one time, so my mom don't. I go down there and shut it off in like 15 minutes. I had the cat ball and I had the EMF in front of it.
Yeah.
After like 5 minutes, my phone just like you can see this like red thing and it just shuts right off. You could see like this red shadow and then it just like shut.
Yeah.
You know, didn't hear it coming down.
They go directly into your electronics to
Well, they
manipulate
erased that was gone. When I went to go show my daughter, the beginning is there and it's gone. They
Right.
don't want people to know they're there.
No. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making people think he doesn't exist. Demons are the same way. They go behind the cameras and they know we hear it all the time. Is that me?
Yeah.
On the SLS, is that me? And they get pissed. They'll start screaming. They don't want to be known. They don't want
They don't
any of
want
it.
to be seen,
They
yeah.
don't want any of it.
Yeah.
Okay, all this stuff is real. Demons exist. The devil exists. Hell exists. Heaven exists. God exists. Angels exist. And I didn't believe any of it until 10 years ago. But the longer we do it, the more we come across that this is real. You have to make a choice. You're either gonna continue to ghost hunt and shit out yourself and be ready to accept consequences because they come sometimes, no matter how much protection.
Doing all the recordings, it was
Yeah.
getting like poltergeist activity. It just like came like so quick, and I was like, "What the hell?" Having the sleep paralysis and all that, like
Oh my God, you
getting
had
attacked
that?
in my sleep, like it was just freaky. Like I knew that. I don't remember my dreams.
The
Yeah.
sleep
I was
paralysis, how long did it last?
It happened twice.
Oh, God.
It's happened to me 100 times.
Yeah.
It's the scariest thing. And did you see anything? during your paralysis?
Nothing.
Just
Were
really.
your eyes open? Your eyes were open?
Trying to, like, I was like, I had my head turned, trying to call for my daughter, and
You
like,
couldn't.
I couldn't move, couldn't talk. Couldn't
How'd you
nothing.
break out of it?
It just stopped.
Yeah.
But you didn't see any, no figures, nothing?
No.
I used to see a figure, a guy with, sounds stupid, but he had a top hat and a cape, and he had red eyes. It sounds goofy, he was like 6 feet tall, you know, I know it sounds, but if you look it up, it actually exists, it's called the Hat Man.
Yeah.
And then my aunt, I was telling her that I got held down, she said, by who, the Hat Man? I swear to God we had the message.
Yeah.
And I was like, that. She said, no, he's followed us for years.
I would be like, Todd, wake
It's
up like
horrifying,
this.
you
Like,
know,
you know, like,
horrifying.
I couldn't get him up.
But that's what they can do to you.
Yeah.
So they're powerful. So you kind of need to make a choice.
So-
you got 4 children here, and then 2 kids that are starting to do
Well,
it too.
obviously, first of all, obviously, I would never tell somebody stop ghost hunting because you can't do that.
No,
It's fun
but-
to do, and it's something that you like enjoy doing with your daughter. Just, I would make sure you have protection.
Extraordinarily careful.
Like always wear your, rosary or
Yeah.
whatever. Just and pray in. Make sure you pray out. So make sure before you leave any location, just pray. Please, nobody's allowed to follow me. Nobody's allowed to follow me. Nobody's allowed to attach
has to be in the
me
name
or
of
my daughter
Jesus
or whatever.
Christ, though.
Make sure you say that. So
It has to be
They
in the
have
name
to
of
obey
Jesus
it,
Christ.
yes.
In the name of Jesus Christ, though.
yeah.
We are powerless against these things. They're afraid of him. Christ has all the power. The guardian angels have all the power. If you're going to invoke anything, you have to invoke it in the name of Jesus Christ. Any negative energies leave my home, I command you to do so in the name of Jesus Christ. If you command it without doing that, you're calling them on.
Yeah.
You're challenging them, and they'll take up the challenge maybe a decade down the road.
Yeah.
They'll wait. Okay? They have no... You called us in because the activity had changed. Obviously, some of that stuff is alarming. Being held on your sleep, very scary. Obviously we've already done the investigation, so obviously you know that there are some things here that need to go. So what we're going to do is perform the minor rite of exorcism.
Okay. All right, so we're back. That was the crux of the case. I actually forgot about the not the relative, her ex's relative there, who supposedly practiced black magic and allegedly had a voodoo doll of her.
Yeah.
So it was like a big paranormal stew there. Did somebody follow her home? There was already activity in the house. Did the conjuring through the apps open up the door even wider? Was some sort of, black magic curse put on her? All of these things can happen. And from the activity we saw there, and you're going to see tonight in part 1 of this case, because this is going to be a 2-parter. There's so much evidence that we captured here. There's a big mystery that needs to be solved here for these folks. And, we did perform a cleansing ourselves. We have not brought in a priest yet. We cannot name him. He wishes to remain anonymous. But, we do work with a famous priest who does come in and cleanse homes. But supposedly, we spoke to her yesterday. Things have been pretty cool since the cleansing. But again, you're going to see part of that tonight because something fairly horrific happened during the cleansing. We have quite a few videos to get to tonight. So just remember, post your questions and comments. Please get involved with the show. If you have questions about the case, about paranormal investigating, about the equipment we use, about any of the evidence you see, you're going to see stuff from the FLIR thermal camera tonight that if you haven't used it, may not be the easiest to understand. I tried to break it down and play it in slow motion for you. So you can have a better idea. Post those questions and comments. We want you to get involved. In the meantime, I think I believe there was one comment if you want to.
Yeah, but real quick, just about that flare, I just wanted to, let the viewers know that when you see the flare on camera, so a normal color is going to be like the orange. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. I did a big thing in the video, so she doesn't need to do that. I did a big explanation.
Never mind.
But just check, see if there's any questions and comments, and then I just have one brief thing to get through.
Just this one right here, and that's
Go ahead.
Danielle Lang says, OMG, oh my God.
That's what we were saying, OMG, when the activity exploded in our face. I mean, we're talking about activity that we've rarely seen at what we call a virgin haunt. A virgin haunt is a place where not a lot of ghost hunting takes place. A famous haunt is like Lizzie Borden House, Rolling Hills Asylum, places like that. This is just somebody's home. We're not used to seeing this level of activity at somebody's home.
Right.
There is one more comment. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So we have Rob says, can a Ouija board be used to contact the other side and be a useful tool, or is it something to be avoided due to the inviting evil spirits?
Okay.
That's a good question.
Honestly, where's the Ouija board? We just got a new Ouija board. In my opinion, there is no difference between the Ouija board, a spirit box, dowsing rods, or anything like that. You're opening the door to the other side, and you have to be careful with that because anything can come through, and technically you do not know who you're talking to. You could be talking to some sort of negative demonic entity. You could be talking to some nice old grandmother who's stuck here and needs help. You really don't know. And the demonic can be very tricky. They will pretend to be something that will make you let your guard down, a little kid, a kindly grandfather, something like that. And then next thing you know, this thing's attached to you, and that can get very, very, very dangerous, which is what our main concern was with this house, because Kerry does have 4 children and her mom living with her. Okay. She did say we could talk about her family, and it concerned us a lot. We rushed right over there. We were there within a few days. Anytime there's a family involved, we're there. And a mystery of this proportion, we wanted to get over there and start figuring things out as soon as possible. Go ahead. There's one more comment.
All right. So thanks, Rob, for that. And
excellent comment. Yes, thank you.
Miss Cindy says this one's going to be interesting. Yes, it will be.
Yeah,
Cindy.
Interesting. Scary for the family, I'm sure. What they were going through and what we saw is just incredible. So before we get to the next video and the investigation part of things, I just want to mention that if you yourself are experiencing strange phenomenon in the home, we do not charge to come and help you out to perform an investigation and try to figure out what's going on to best help you, even if it goes as far as a cleansing or clearing. We're there to help you till things are figured out, okay? If you need our help and you would like us to investigate, even if it's just validation, you think you're crazy because things are going on in the house, and you want us to find out what's going on, go to Relatively Paranormal. Let's go to the banners there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
RelativelyParanormal.com, and right down past like the little intro page is a page that you can just fill out a booking form, and we'll get right back to you. Or you can go to our Gmail account, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com, and just drop us a line. And you can even go to our public Facebook group, Relatively Paranormal. We keep it all simple, Relatively Paranormal. I don't know if they can private message us through there, though. If you want to keep it private, use the website or
the Gmail.
Yeah. We're going to be hooking up a specific phone number as well. Mm-hmm. And, of course, our YouTube page now has like 114 videos on it, full investigations that we do that you don't get to see on this show. Every episode of Wickedly Haunted, quick evidence clips. I'm talking like 1 minute, like, wow, oh my God, what did I just see clips? I do reviews on ghost hunting equipment if you're into ghost hunting and all that good stuff. And of course, even last year, we were on a international documentary series called My Extraordinary Family. Even that's on there. Our interview with Tim Weisberg, our favorite radio host over at Spooky South Coast, all that good stuff. And we do have a TikTok channel, Relatively Paranormal. Let's keep it simple. So let's get
real quick. I just want to read this one. Roxanne asked, "What town is this investigation in?"
New Beige. It's in New Bedford.
New Bedford.
It's New Bedford. We're not going to give out the street address, but it's legit like a mile from our house. It was definitely a quick ride over there. The couple times we were there.
Yeah.
So let's rock that second video here, and we'll see you in a few. And please post those questions and comments. Keep them coming. Let's get involved, and we're here to answer any question. It should be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All right, rock it. 1, 2.
Light on? Oh yeah.
That's a long shot.
Is the light on? Oh yeah.
Let me start to sort of join. I use my phone for it, so. If anyone's in here, you like music, I'm gonna put this device over here. All you're gonna do is walk by that device. It'll set that music off. So let us know you're up in there. That's me walking by with GS2.
What does it say? What does it say?
That spiritual going off right now. Something fixes in the back. Yeah.
Again.
This would be the second time of many times that Spirit Tune would be going off. Notice how the GS2 laser grid is flashing green as it's picking up some sort of movement in that room. But all of us are upstairs as we are about to start the investigation.
All right, I'm good to go. Where's your camera?
Again. Again. Like nobody's even reminding you walking by, but no, nothing's pointed at your back wall. Again. Again. Oh, is that you? You back away from that. If that's a spirit, can you back away from that? Or a ghost? Look, the static detector's going up the staircase like crazy. Look at it. You got the lights off. This place is going nuts. This place is going bonkers. Static detector's going off. Look at this. Negative ion, positive ion. Hi, buddy. All right, keep making it go off. Go nuts. Go ahead. All right, so, oh. Okay, that sounds like the lowest sensitivity possible. All right. During our investigation, which only lasted a few hours, I placed static cameras in 3 of the bedrooms. You're looking at bedroom 1. During the 2 hours this camera was on, not one visual anomaly or odd sound was captured on this camera. Now watch what happens and is captured in bedroom number 2, and wait till you see what happens in bedroom number 3. You won't believe your eyes. Alright, I got camera 2 up. Oh, shit. What was that? Okay, got an orb already. Good one too, that was funky. This is what dust looks like captured on an infrared camera. As you can see, it travels around like snow with the air current. Whereas the anomalies you're about to see are examples of spirit energy, are flashing, brightly lit, intelligently moving, and traveling at different speeds.
switch off.
All right, so we are back. Sorry, we had to fix the camera. We're trying to adjust it a little bit during the video. That video is quite amazing, but at the same time shocking. As you noticed, I showed the static cameras that were in almost every bedroom in that house. The first bedroom was Kerry's room. It had 2 spirit energy orbs that kind of whipped around by the TV, and that was it. And then a couple of shadow figures ran by that room. Nobody was downstairs in that basement. We had every inch of that house, covered with cameras. So anytime something happened, we knew where everyone was. There was 3 people in the house. It was Marissa, myself, and Kerry. Everybody else, she got the entire family out of the house. That was it. And we kept track of everything, okay? The other bedroom had no activity like that in it, okay? And then her son's room, I couldn't figure out why he had all that activity in it. I was unaware that there was like an attic crawl space in the house over to the left-hand side where most of that spirit energy was going.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they're going in there is because they do not like light of any kind, and they like to kind of hide out and, kind of cause their mischief at night when you're sleeping, when you're at your weakest, when you're not aware of things going on. And, I know it sounds crazy, but basements and attics, crawl spaces, stuff like that is where they like to be until they want to come out and cause problems, really.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, there's a lot of spirit energy in that house. That is a lot of spirits. And they were all heading towards this, it's more like an eaves in the front of the house. And once we knew that was there, when we went to perform the cleansing, it made all the sense in the world as to why all that activity was in that room and not in the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we can get right to the comments because we have more videos to go. Please post any more questions and comments you have about the activity you're seeing, the case, any of the equipment we're going to use that you're going to see in the next part as we get into the investigation. As I mentioned, so many things happened at this house. This is actually going to have to be a 2-part case. So go ahead, you can click on the comments there. Marissa.
Okay, so Nancy says my next door neighbor is possessed. Can you get rid of him? Maybe.
We're not killers for hire, but if he was actually possessed, we may be able to help him. Our priest friend may be able to help him. I don't know. Maybe the Vatican. I don't know. But hopefully he's not really possessed, Nancy. But thank you for making us laugh. We appreciate it.
All right.
That was awesome.
And Roxanne says, was the voice telling you that it wanted you out and not to test it?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what it said. And it like had the freakiest, craziest, like negative demonic type voice I've heard in a long time. He was like, "Don't test me." Like it was, listen, when y'all listening to this stuff at like 2 a.m, 1 a.m. by yourself with the headphones, it's a little freaky. It's a little freaky. I'll wake Marissa up and be like, you got to hear this. Because it's just it's kind of freaky, yeah.
All right. So Rob says, so looking at the orbs, they actually look like they're playing with one another at time. Is that a common occurrence?
They do interact. Spirits interact. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We hear them. We have a spirit box called the Vortex that is damn close to direct communication. But the odd thing is all the time, even on EVPs, we'll hear them talking to each other. Sometimes there's a bully spirit in the house. We'll hear him ordering other spirits around. They do interact with each other. If there's family members there, kids, whatever, they may be playing with each other. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'll tell you what, when one of those things comes out, stops dead in its tracks and shoots the other way, or makes a right-hand turn through a doorway, or manifests out of a wall and then goes into a ceiling. These are single, most of the time perfectly circular, but they can be other shapes, anomalies that are self-lit, flashing, and intelligently moving. I played that whole section about the dust so you knew what it looked like. People will say, oh, that's dust, that's dust. I want to see somebody perform a scientific experiment where they take some crumbs of dust, flick them in the air, and then I want to see them flashing through the sky, boomerang backwards, and shoot through a doorway. Sometimes they shoot past us. Sometimes they shoot into us, and then we'll feel negative or angry, and we don't know why, and then we'll see it later on the replay. These things can interact with you as well. They draw your energy. And when they're drawing your energy, they will impress their negative emotions on you. Nobody knows that more than the person sitting next to me. Because the spirit that we had sent to the light, which you can see on our YouTube channel under our haunted house when we first started sharing our videos, the spirit Angie was, felt connected to Marissa, and we're drawing her energy, not to be mean, but just because she needed energy. All right, so we can finish the comments and we'll get that. We got more videos to come. We didn't get into the investigation yet.
So Jen, hey Jen,
Hi,
thanks for
Jen.
watching.
Jen's a good friend of ours. She probably sent stars.
Yeah.
Good stars, yes.
Thank you, Jen. And Jade says, hey, thanks so much for watching.
Oh, is that Carrie's daughter? Could be.
Yeah.
Hi, Jade. Hope everything's going well, hon.
And Rob says, interesting. Thank you.
Jade, I didn't mean to put you out there, honey. She's an adult. She's
Jade
home for
says,
20.
hi, Rob. And Rob says, hey, buddy. All right.
Jade, we hope everything's going well. We know we spoke to you and your mom yesterday.
Yeah, I'm Gary's daughter.
Yeah.
So this is Jade's home.
Jade, we hope everything's going well. And, of course, we're still trying to figure everything out for you. And we'll be in touch soon.
Yeah. Oh, Jen. Love you guys and love what you do. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you so much, Jen. We appreciate it. We love you too.
Next.
Up there at the El Brando right there. Brands,
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this is when we're actually setting up in this part of the video. Normally we don't set up equipment before the cameras, and as soon as we started putting out the equipment, everything started popping off. Especially you're gonna hear we have a device. It's a little box called Spirit Tune. And it's a music box that senses direction, any motion in 360 degrees through Doppler radar, not infrared beams. So we have it on the floor below us in a back bedroom away from everybody, so it cannot be set off by any of us, okay? It's 360 degrees, but it doesn't go up or down. It's just around it. It's very powerful, but we put it as far away from us as possible, and you're not going to believe what happens with it. So that's what Spirit Tune is when you hear the crazy music box going off and you see the Spirit Tune on the screen. It's a little box that detects motion in every direction. So rock that video.
Here we go.
Hi, it's Todd from Relatively Paranormal Equipment, and I am here with my device, my invention, the Power Plant Dual EM Pump Spirit Energy device that is made with two extremely powerful electromagnetic energy pumps that blast 3 crystals. The Power Plant is a product of my years of research into electromagnetic energy and its effect on the spirit world. Have you ever had one of your devices or even your body be drained during a paranormal investigation? That's because the spirits are sapping your energy in order to fuel the interaction and communication that you're experiencing during the investigation. What this baby can do. And I'm pegged.
Oh yeah, on the chair with the power plant.
Wickedly Haunted is sponsored by JMG Medical Group. If you have unused, unexpired, and unopened diabetic test strips at home, call my friend Ron at 508-642-6565. He will pay you up to $35 per box and come to your house to pick them up, paying you cash on the spot. If you mention the show Wickedly Haunted, he will give you an extra $5 per box. If you do not live locally, you can send them to him and he will pay for the shipping. He is now also buying Dexcom 6 and Libre sensor pod. What you're looking at is the screen from our new upgraded Flare 1 Pro model. This is light years ahead of the former Flare device that we were using and is much more detail orientated. Pay very close attention when this viewpoint is up on the screen to what you're looking at, as many different entities, spirits, and apparitions seem to appear off and on during the filming of this footage. At the end of this clip, I will play the highlights of what was captured by this camera in slow motion and give a breakdown of the slow motion footage and what I think is paranormal that was captured during the investigation on the FLIR thermal camera. Right, I'm talking to any spirits, any dead people, any astral beings in this house. My name is Todd. That's my wife Marissa.
Hello.
Carrie has asked us to come in here and find out who you are, speak to you, and find out where you came from, if you're part of this land, this house, if you followed her, whatever. But you can hear down in that downstairs room. Let's just shoot that down. Just shoot down there real quick. Okay, there's 2 bedrooms downstairs. Our spirit tune device is going bonkers. It works off Doppler radar, motion detecting. That should not be happening. It's facing the backyard. GS2 laser grids down there, and behind Marissa, shoot that, is our REM pod going berserk. There's things going off all over the place, and we need to start here. We just turned off the light. So I'm going to turn on some equipment, and whatever astral beings are here, okay, Marissa's going to talk to you to make communication through these devices. You know how to use that REM pod. Marissa, why don't you just start trying to find out who that is, and I'll turn on these other devices. All right, they want to talk, so go ahead and talk to them.
All right, thank you so much. Could you step away for just a moment? You're a female. If you could please set that off for me.
Do your thing. I'll be back here working this.
Okay, well, that's just a random question. But if... They can read my mind, I betcha. Could you step away for 1 second? Step away for just 1 second, please, ma'am. If your name... Okay, but you are a female. Do you mind if I call you ma'am? Is that okay?
Whoa.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Are you here? Please step away. Could you please step away for 1 second? Did you live in this home? You just touch the antenna right here if you did live in this home before.
Hear that bang over there?
Did you live on this land? If you lived on this land, could you please tap this right here? Just as please make that sound if you're still standing next to me. Okay, I think you are over here. Just wanted to let you know that there are some energy boxes around. There are 4 of them in this home. They look like this. And you know, in order to answer us, just make sure you gain all the energy right there. Do not use it from us or the devices.
This anomaly is not a bug. It is clearly round and has no wings. Okay.
Is that loud beeping? Is that coming from downstairs?
That's the temperature on the EMF on the REM pod
Alright.
going nuts.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Did you pass away in this house? Could you please step away from this is called a REM pod, the circular thing here, so we'll just call it a REM. So whenever I say REM, that's what I mean. Could you step away from the REM for me?
If I say REM, you say pod.
Alright, thank you so much. So,
So you know how to use the REM pod.
could you step away just 1 moment? I just want to confirm your answer. So, did you say you did pass away in this home? Or on this land?
Oh, right here, which one first?
Did you pass away in this home? Could you please touch the REM if you did pass in this home?
Yeah, let's bring that a little bit.
No? Okay. Was it this land that you passed away on?
So like.
Watch this misty anomaly come out of Marissa's foot, shoot directly up, and then across the ceiling in an intelligent manner. There was absolutely no dust or drafts in the house to cause this. What you're looking at is a Flare 1 Pro footage from my own home that I took so I could show you what it's supposed to look like. Hot or warm areas are supposed to look yellow, red, or orange, and the colder areas are supposed to be shown with the purple or red. The dots flying around are showing you the hottest and the coldest spots in the room. 65 degrees in the cold spots, 72.6 degrees in the hot spots, and they appear to be changing depending on what they're picking up. But this is what it should look like. Not the heavy purplish and strange moving things that you're going to see on the video from the investigation. As you can see, there are all sorts of shapes and strange things moving all around me and developing. I can see forms of what almost looks like people or heads all over the place. That should not be happening. All of those things should be static, and instead they're all changing, and you can see things moving around all over the place. Behind me, especially behind the couch area, as spirits like to hide behind things like couches to observe. Here's a slow motion portion of that. If you look over to the right, you can see what looks to be the formation of a huge head. In a second, you're going to see a screenshot of that head, and that's right here, so that you can see exactly what it looked like. You can see eyes, a nose, a mouth, and hair. And here you can see on the regular footage that there's nothing in that spot. As I play more footage from the flare, now I want you to really focus on, this is the regular speed, and then it's going to go in slow motion, and it's going to show you screenshots from that area. If you look above the couch area, it looks to be like a large face or a couple of faces forming back there above the couch near the camera. You'll see them really clearly in the slow motion, and then especially in the screenshots of this. So spend some time checking out these areas because they are really freaky looking. Right there you can see what looks to be a large face in the middle of the screen that does not look too happy. In more slow motion footage here, you can see what looks like forms behind the couch moving. Nothing on this screen should be moving or changing shape because none of the temperatures are changing back there. They're all staying around the same temperature. The camera is hot, the rest of the area is fairly cool. But it should still not be dark purple like this. That's like really cold, like 50, 40 degrees. So as you can see, I'm the hot area and the rest of the screen is cold. And we can see all sorts of strange shapes developing behind that couch area as if they're hiding back there, watching what's going on, listening to what I'm saying as I introduce myself and Marissa to the spirits. Look above the couch right now, you can clearly see what looks like a couple of large faces back there, changing shape and form as the video progresses. In this final part, you're going to see something really freaky as we captured some other faces hiding underneath a table on the other side of the room. So that video is playing right now, and if you look at the arrow underneath that table, it looks like a bunch of small purple heads forming under there. There's nothing under there but boxes as you look over at the normal side on the right hand side. In a second though, I'm going to back all of this up after the slow motion video with regular pictures of underneath that table showing that there was actually faces under there. If you check out the slow motion video right now, it's astonishing how much is going on underneath the table. Spirits love to hide in places like that because they can watch what's going on without feeling like they're in danger. As the slow motion video progresses, you can really see that there's 2 or 3 faces under there, changing shape and form as the video progresses. And that's what you want to see to make sure that it's paranormal, because anything paranormal will change shape or disappear within milliseconds in any pictures or video. If it was just something normal, it would not be changing shape or temperature right now. Underneath there should just be one solid color. If you look at this picture, you can see what looks to be the face of a little girl on that WB Mason box right there. You can see the mouth, the nose, even the hair. It's a very clear picture. Now we can see that that face has disappeared and there's a different face there, and even a face looks like it's smiling behind that table. And the last picture, if we look, we can see that the girl is back. She looks completely different, has more definition, and the other faces have disappeared completely. So I had seen those pictures days before I saw that weird stuff on the flare, but I was amazed that I had the pictures to back that part up. The big heads aren't necessarily like ginormous heads, and then there's little heads popping up behind the couch. The big heads are closer to the flare for the most part, so they're showing up as big. We've seen this many times. It's not like there's this ginormous balloon-sized head in the middle of the room. It's closer to the flare camera, but it just looks like it's farther back. And then you can see like small heads popping up behind the couch, and then the ones hiding under the table. Spirits love to hide and watch. We will catch them behind couches and corners, behind doorways. Like if you're going to go out there and ghost hunt, honestly, like they're not going to pop out in front of you. You know, that's very rare. You know, that you're going to catch them hiding in places. So to see that on the flare, it picking up cold, you know, humanoid looking heads underneath that table where those boxes were. And then I knew I had the pictures showing those faces. Was pretty awesome. I mean, it's a house case. I'm not trying to be callous here, but you know, it's mind blowing. It like bends your mind. Carrie understands. She goes out there and, you know, does,
some amateur ghost hunting herself. So, you know, when you see stuff like this, you know, it's hard to wrap your brain around. Really, it is. Like, where's their body? Like on the floor below. You know, it's crazy. You know, you think of like Casper the Friendly Ghost, like he was half on one floor, half on the other, peeking his head up through.
Yes.
I don't know. You know, there's so many questions to be answered. It's crazy, but we got more videos. So let's get right to the comments. Where we left off.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dawn asks, "What's the best way to take pictures of orbs?"
I don't recommend taking pictures of orbs because those, like when you see like pictures outside, like in the summertime, and there's bugs in the air and pollen and dust, those can show up as orbs. Okay, so when people are like, I was outside this Lizzie Borden's and there was 1,000 orbs in the sky, like, you know, you're not going to find 1,000 spirits flying around in the sky outside a haunted location. It's hard to take a picture of an orb, but to take pictures of spirits themselves, we recommend, you know, different things. It's weird. You have to watch out. Like, spirits will use textures and things. Like they'll take somebody's picture of like a landscape and use that to show themselves in. Just like a spirit box takes radio stations and chops them up, or word banks and chops them up, or phonetics, or whatever it's the same thing. They'll do the same thing with the pictures. They will use what's in the environment to show themselves. So that's really the best way to do it, is as low a lighting as possible, because they do not like light. They will absolutely take off if there's bright light. And, you know, crank up the exposure on your camera to try to get as much light into it, you know, into it that way. Or use night vision cameras.
Yeah. Like
even
if you just have like an option on your phone, you know, just it'll say like night or something, which isn't exactly night vision, but it will give you that, you know, a much better.
Yeah, we bought some crazy phones that have crazy phone apps that just take amazing videos in ultra low light settings. It has a night mode, and you know, sometimes it takes 10 seconds to crack off a picture, but it gets some crazy pictures. You know, but you know, sometimes we'll shoot them in the full spectrum too.
Yeah. All right. So, and Jade, I think in reference to when we were talking about the house, she says everything's going all right. And I hope everything is going good for you guys as well. Yeah, everything.
We still got your back. Don't worry about it. We still got your back.
If anything changes at your house, just let us know.
But please listen, sweetheart. Please, no ghost hunting in the house. No conjuring in the house. And if you're gonna go back out and do it somewhere else, tell Marissa. Call us, please, so we can give you directions on the way to protect yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just make sure you're wearing protection. Just put on a cross. Put on a cross. And what a blessed cross.
That sounded terrible.
What?
Absolutely terrible.
Oh my God, I wasn't even.
It sounded terrible.
Where's your mind? You know what I mean? A blessed cross.
Listen, listen. If you're gonna go out and do it, let us know. We'll give you some.
And you're gonna give them directions.
Some advice. Some advice.
Let's go.
No, but seriously, listen. This is honestly like a cautionary tale of what can happen just casually going out to a place like Lizzie Borden's and staying overnight. These things can attach to you. It can happen anywhere, though, in reality. But if you're going to go out there and open doors, you got to make sure that you close them when you're done. A Ouija board, you got to make sure you say goodbye. Like, there's rules to the Ouija board that were put there to keep you safe. Same thing with the spirit box. You got to say goodbye. You got to say the door's closed. You know, you can't follow me. You can't attach to me. You know, you got to command it in the name of Jesus Christ or whatever you believe in. If Buddha, whoever it is, Muhammad, whatever. Listen, whatever your higher power is, you know, these things will respond to that. Okay, they know that they're breaking the law of God by following you home. You got to be safe.
All right.
Is there any more? Is there any one more? Is that it?
No, she mentioned another one, but so it says, and my friend found out that Alice was the neighbor of Lizzie Borden. So yeah,
we also found out that Lizzie Borden had a 2-year-old sister named Alice that died like a year before Lizzie was born. Do I think that 2-year-old sister Alice followed you home? No, she never even lived in that house.
So we had a medium that reached out to us that just mentioned the name Alice in reference to this investigation. Just to make a long story short, and so we didn't know where Alice was coming from. Was there an Alice in her home? So we don't know.
Oh, Russell had found out about the neighbor too. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and
you just never know. These things, they're tricky. you know, when we're speaking to spirits or entities, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt, and so does Marissa, because you know, you don't know who you're talking to.
Mm.
You know, it seemed like, and this was the biggest thing, and what you'll see next week is, it seemed like this was a human hunt the whole time. Everything seemed like, this should be pretty easy to take care of.
Yes.
And on the flip of a dime,
Just like
we're not going
that.
to tell you what I did, because that's going to be next week, how I got this to happen. But we flipped the switch and all hell broke loose in this house.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to the next video. Believe me, you're going to see plenty of activity and strange things tonight. But next week, you're going to see what happens real quick.
Yeah.
So keep the questions and comments coming. We love to hear from you. And we'll see you after the next video.
4.
Yes, ma'am.
There we
Yes,
go.
ma'am.
I'll give you another way to talk as well. The flashlight over here, you can twist the end on and off. If you want to talk through the flashlight, if that was you, go ahead, shut off the flashlight. Twist the end off. Twist the end the other way. Oh, there we go.
Good job. Thank you for that. Is there more than one spirit here? Is there somebody else that has passed away here with you? There is, okay. Are there more than 2 spirits total here? You shut the light off. I'm going to ask that question again. Okay. Are there more than 2 spirits here? You and someone else? And are there... Is it just you and someone else? Okay, thank you. So there's a total of 2.
That's not the other person's name. You see if his name is Sonny?
Ben.
Oh.
Ben, come on, buddy.
Okay.
Is the,
That's right.
so I know that you're a woman. Is the other spirit here a male? Could you please turn it is, okay.
The next question. Can you turn off that light, please? So I can ask you a question? Please shut off the light. Twist it back the other way. Twist it the other way. Shut up all the way. Reset it. There you go. I want to know if there's a spirit, either human or non-human, that followed Carrie here from the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
Can you shut the light off, please? Shut the light off, please. Reset it. Come on, there's a power bank right under it. I know you got tons of juice over there. Try to shut up, twist it all the way the other way. Go ahead. Is the spirit a human spirit? Turn the light on if a human spirit followed Carrie. Right now. Really? Okay. Hey, shut that up. Alright, shut it off.
After mapping the same area for almost 10 minutes, the SLS camera finally picks up a figure sitting at the top of the staircase by the foot of the other staircase. It's a strange place for him to sit, but I do not believe this is a false positive due to the fact that he's sitting on his butt, has his legs stretched out, and that area has been mapped by this camera, like I said, for almost 10 minutes. Normally a false positive would appear right away as soon as the camera hits that area.
That's the reaction. Eliza, Alice, I don't know. Oh my god. If there's anyone in here that would like to show themselves, all you gotta do is walk in front of our device. We're here to make that noise and know to come over here. Alright, go ahead, show me. You can come over here and talk to my word box. It's got tons of names and word in it. That's right there. You're right there. You're right there. Turn the light on. Is there a spirit downstairs setting off the music box because it likes music? Look, it went off. Look. Oh, I got a figure on this.
Yep.
I got a figure on this over by the staircase.
Yeah.
Who's ever kneeling down by the staircase over there? Can you raise your hand up?
So we know that you're real, although there was nobody there this whole time.
So all right. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a female spirit that's here before, and
Well, how about the
then
fact-
maybe the male spirit came from the boarding house. No. Oh, ashamed. It worked finally. It was ashamed.
So I fixed it.
Oh, well, that's the word that came out. Oh. What's you mapping? Is that you mapping or is that spirit mapping?
What?
Since I'm mapping something out.
It's me.
Oh. So it said ashamed.
Right, so.
You're ashamed. Ashamed the way that you, ashamed,
Oh, no.
you're ashamed of how you lived your life? Or ashamed of how you died?
Are you finding this easy to talk through? Thank you, yes. What? Who let you what? These things one that Marissa wants to what?
So that's where the investigation part of the episode ends. There'll be much more of the investigation next week, but we are going to show something that occurred during the cleansing, as we promised we would. Cleansing. And Miss Marissa is going to tell you how she captured this and the circumstances behind it while I get the video rolling.
Yeah, so all of us went around the house. Todd was doing the prayers, and we went down into the basement. And while Todd was making his way to the basement, and the holy water and all that other good stuff, I kept seeing something. They have like this little, what's it called? Like, we're in the basement. It didn't appear to be any windows. It's very, very dark down
There was no windows that I saw in this.
There was a light on, but it was like a basement, and then there was almost like a little thing that's like it went down deeper, or
almost like a crawl space.
Yeah,
underneath.
like a crawl space in the basement. Almost like it looked like I had to crawl under it. First of all, it was like underneath the porch is kind of what it looked like. So I kept seeing things moving, and so they ended up going upstairs, and I'm like, wait, what is going on down here? So I just like kept looking at it, and I stayed in one spot, and I'm crouched down, like on my knees, and I'm holding the camera, and I just keep looking straight ahead. And I didn't really say anything at first because I didn't know what I was looking at, and then I could see like spirits moving, and
I don't think they're spirits.
I didn't know what it was, but then I started to get like this really like.
I think they're dark, like shadow people.
Like an angry feeling like came over me. And honestly, I started to get a little nervous, so I started to pray. Todd's like calling for me, and I'm like, "There's no way in hell that I'm going anywhere and lose the opportunity to see what's going to go on down here." Regardless of what it might be.
She's a brave lady, because when you see this, most people would have ran for their life. Honestly.
So I'm looking through the camera, and I could actually see it with my eyes as well, but I could see it way better with the camera because I could almost see like faces, like really like demonic looking faces, really. And they kept they were shapeshifters, so they kept like changing. But basically, you'll see it, but it was really quite bizarre. And I'm really, really glad that I stayed down there to capture it while they, continued on. Because now I think I have a few more answers as to what might have been.
And I'm just going to say, this isn't a case of a window and cars driving by. This isn't a case of the sun coming in and out. There's one light source behind her. It's a halogen bulb. It didn't flicker in and out. It stayed the same. She stayed in the exact spot, like she,
I couldn't move, like I was crouched down, so like I was kind of like.
She didn't move anyway because Marissa takes good shots like this. And the only unfortunate thing I'm going to say is, our camera phones shooting 8K, or maybe it was even in 4K at the lowest. Some of it doesn't translate as well as it did on our. If you were standing here watching it on the 8K phone, then on the 1080p feed you're watching it on.
But you'll get
you'll get the gist.
I'm sure.
And after in review, we noticed that there was things closer to her on the ceiling. It was a dangerous situation. And what had happened is with the ceremony. I'm using blessed frankincense.
I brought a spray bottle of blessed holy water. I'm not kidding, like a Windex bottle of holy water. I'm dousing it everywhere, and I was reading the minor rite of exorcism ritual, okay, which the layman can read. So it doesn't happen like right away, like on TV. It does not happen that way. It's not like boom, oh, I smelled roses in the summer. You know, it takes. You know, the father that we deal with told us it does take time to take effect, which is why originally they told us the activity was worse for a day or two, and now it's better. You know, but whatever these things were, they were pissed. So just keep that in mind and try to look all around. And you know, I do my best to point things out, but this is some freaky stuff here.
Just notice that, like, I could see around me that it was getting, like, as he was saying the prayers, it was getting very, very dark. And then, like, you know, as the prayers went on a little bit, it would lighten up a little bit, and then it was almost like they would get angry again, because then they would just like
give us your take on it in the comments.
You'll see.
You know, if you have a comment, and let us know what you think of this. And just keep in mind again, this was shot in 8K. It doesn't translate perfectly to 1080. In 8K, this looks tremendous. And in person, think about how you would be standing there if you saw this undulating shadow things all around you. You know, this is real stuff right here. This is no joke. And this is one of the things that concerned us the most about this case, and which is why I called our priest and asked about this. So let us know what you think, and I will see you in a couple minutes.
The Christian faith, the glorious Mother of Jesus, the Virgin Mary, commands you. She, who by her humility and from the first moment of her immaculate conception crushed your proud head. The faith of the holy apostles Peter and Paul, and of all apostles, command you. The sacred sign of the cross commands you, as does also the power and the mysteries of the Christian faith. The glorious Mother of Jesus, the Virgin Mary, commands you. She, by her humility, and from the first moment of her immaculate conception,
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. You are not welcome here. You must leave this home. You must leave. You're not allowed to attach yourself to me, or to Todd, or to any of our belongings. And you're not welcome here. You are never welcome here. You must leave this home. Leave this family alone.
Now let's watch part of those clips in slow motion so you can get a true perspective and appreciation for what was actually going on in that basement, and how brave Marissa actually was for staying down there to film that, to prove that these entities actually exist.
All right, so some really bizarre, strange stuff right there. As you could see, it was almost, I was telling Marissa, it almost looks like it's breathing, like it was undulating. You know, she started praying, it lightened up. And, you know, when she would stop, it would expand. You know, it was really crazy stuff, you know. And we're not trying to force religion down anybody's throat. But, you know, when we take on these cases to help people, this stuff is real, and it is spiritual warfare. So, you know, you can take it how you want. You know, we're not trying to make this a religious show, but it's all relative. It's why we call ourselves Relatively Paranormal. One, because we're a couple, and two, because in the paranormal, it's all related. It's all relative. So Let's just check if there's any more comments. Let us know what you just thought of that, because that's some bizarre stuff, and it's real deal Holyfield stuff. Do you know where it ended?
Oh yeah, so you're gonna get Roxanne.
Okay, and you read it off.
Yeah, show it. Okay, so Roxanne says they really need to get out of that house due to it saying it's Satan and wants the children.
Correct. I mean,
I'd be packing up my kids and I'd be gone.
Yeah. The problem is, though, Roxanne, is they can follow you. And if they're attached to one of the people in the house, like Carrie or her daughter or anyone, leaving isn't going to do any good. It'll just go with you. Just like if it attached at Lizzie Borden's, and there is a demonic entity there, I don't care what you want to say or whatever. We have proof of it on our Lizzie Borden episode on the Relatively Paranormal YouTube channel. We encountered a demonic entity in the basement there. So these things can be in multiple places at once. They can be at that place and at her house at the same time and bring friends with them, which is what that looks like to me. In our opinion, the shadow people are the negatives, and the wispy, like smoky looking ones are the regular human spirits.
Yeah.
It looks like there's one more comment before we wrap up. Let me just throw it up there.
So Rob asks, on a scale from 1 to 10, what does
How
it
would
say?
you rate the activity in that house? Is that what that
What
says?
do you feel the activity is at this house?
Dangerous. Very powerful, strong. I think there's a portal there. I'm not joking, and I'm not going to get into portals today, but when you conjure in your house, and if there's already something there, and if the land's ripe for it, like if there's quartz and a strong earth magnetic field there, you can open up something, very dangerous. And to us, on every level of that house, it looked like a portal.
Yes.
We've seen them before.
So, all right. So we normally give the spirits energy to communicate. So that's the only way they can communicate. But when we went there for the cleansing, we didn't bring any of
Not the only way, but it's just the way for them to do it.
Right. We didn't bring any of our equipment to do the cleansing. We
don't want them energized.
We don't want them energized. We want them as weak as possible. But we still saw a lot of spirits there. A lot, and we weren't feeding them anything so it was really, really bizarre. And that's what tells me that there's definitely something going on. There's something going on. And I could feel it from the second I walked into that house, that it was coming from the basement area.
I mean, let's just put it like this. It's a better question to answer next week after you see the pictures we captured on every level, and you hear all the things that the Vortex Spirit Box said, and there's even EVPs. You only saw half of the evidence. That's half of the evidence. Okay. Yeah. So, we capture a lot of evidence when we go on these investigations, but it's one of the most active private, like, family homes we've ever stepped foot in.
It is. Yeah.
And the activities seem to build and build and build. And again, next week, we're going to try to put out another episode on Friday about this. It'd be a better question to answer then, but yes, it could be very dangerous. They need to not ghost hunt in the home for sure. And that's 100%. Like, there's no if ands or buts about it. Marissa said during the interview, I'll never tell anyone to ghost hunt. Do not ghost hunt in that home. Okay. If we were able to close that door, it's still open, like that tiny crack, and these things will wait outside and they will kick that door in the second you open up one of those apps.
The second they have the opportunity, they'll be right back in there.
It's over. It'll be
or maybe, and it might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might not be next month. Maybe it will be next year. Maybe it'll be in 6 years. Who knows? But they'll be waiting. Because that's what they do.
And think about your little brother most of all, because he can't protect himself.
Right.
So anyway, we hope everything is going well. Well, we heard that everything's okay.
Yeah, but I hope it stays that way for sure.
We're still working on what the exact cause was, if it's able to be figured out.
Yeah.
But we wish the best to Carrie and her family. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We hope that you enjoyed the content we put out, and we hope that we're one step closer to removing the stigma from hauntings, because if Carrie and her daughter tried to talk about this, 80% of the population would laugh in their face, which is what happened to us originally, which is why we do this for ourselves and try to help other people.
Yeah.
Looks like there's one more question. What it says? Love the show.
Click it up. I can't see it. Click it.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, one more.
And Rob says, love the show. You have a new fan. Sleeping with the lights on tonight. Awesome. Thanks so much, Rob.
Check out right here. the Relatively Paranormal YouTube channel. Please subscribe and binge watch tonight, and you definitely won't be sleeping once you get through a couple episodes. Watch the Rolling Hills Asylum and Lizzie Borden one.
Put those up. And Carrie, hi. Carrie says, thank you again for everything.
Where is it?
Carrie, yeah.
Where?
Cindy says, God bless you both.
I don't
Thank you
see
so
any of
much.
this.
And Jade says, I think I am too.
Does it say right
And
there?
Rob says, I will. All right, you guys all have a great night. Thank you all so very much.
Yeah, listen, Carrie, you're welcome. It's what we do. It's a pleasure to help you. You have a nice family, and we hope that we were able to help. And if we have to go further with it, we'll go further with it.
We're there for you.
We're there for
We
you.
have to call the father in, and we'll bring him by.
And anyone else out there, seriously,
just reach out to us if anybody
relativelyparanormal.com, relativelyparanormal at gmail.com. We're always happy to help. We have a family, we have a child, we've lived through it, we've been where you've been. We actually care, so we're here to help always. All right, everybody have a great weekend.
Right,
have a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Happy Father's Day.
And thank you so much for tuning in. We love all you guys. We appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Bye.